Welcome to Global One Media's Stocks to Watch, the platform that brings you interviews with senior leaders of public companies so you can make informed investment decisions. I'm your host, Michelle Martin. Today, I delve into the world of mineral exploration and resource development with Tarku Resources. Could this company be your gateway to promising opportunities in the resource sector? What are their innovative strategies and commitment to sustainable growth? Get ready to discover the potential that TKU holds for your investment portfolio. Tarku Resources trades in Toronto on the TSXV Venture Exchange under the ticker TKU. Over the counter in the US, you can find them as TRKUF. It also trades in Frankfurt as 7TK. Time to speak with President and CEO of Tarku Resources, Julien Davy. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Hi, Michelle. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always great to see you. Earlier this year, you acquired a Max Lithium Project. I understand that's located in the same geological context, just about 4 kilometers southwest of the only operating lithium mine in Quebec, the North American lithium mine. We're interested in updates that you have about this project. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yes, absolutely. So we already back during the fall period of last year, we have started looking and negotiating for on different well-located and affordable and technically speaking outstanding lithium project. With Tarku, our strategy is to explore in overlooked area, easily accessible with strong geological potential and in safe jurisdiction. So that's how we found the Max Lithium project itself. It was owned by 4 different prospectors, and our goal was to acquire the project with less cash possible. The property now is owned by us 100%, and we have no future commitments. I believe, and even more now, that it presents a really significant opportunity for Tarku's shareholder in this, let's say, market, which is a really growing global lithium market right now. You know it. You said Quebec is a heaven for high grade, high quality lithium, and this project has an advantage of being, as you said, in the same batholith and the same geological context as the only lithium producer mine in Quebec. It's a really good complement to our portfolio of quality gold and silver assets in Quebec and Arizona.
Is it also true that despite its prime location, very little exploration work has been done there in the last 3 decades?
Correct. It looks a little bit awkward, but we are in the heart of the Abitibi area, and there are still areas with absolutely no, really little exploration. That's why we want to now to go on the ground and to conduct a stripping program as soon as possible.
Around 2 months ago, I understand you announced your first reconnaissance program, which identified metric-sized pegmatites. And for the uninitiated, those of us who are not geologists, that's a specific type of igneous rock formation, some of which can be mined for lithium. Tell us about the discovery of this project and maybe any other updates you might have.
Correct, absolutely. So by the end of May this year, we carry out what we call a initial reconnaissance work program, actually, aiming to prepare for the next steps. We had not visited the land and did not know the accesses and the state of these accesses. So, but unfortunately, after a week of work on the ground, we were forced to evacuate the area due to uncontrolled forest fire this year in Quebec. This summer, numerous areas were closed due to those forest fires, and it wasn't that easy for a lot of explorers like Tarku this year. But even though the field work completed at only in that 1 week period, by our exploration team was sufficient to identify what appears to be numerous really metric-wide pegmatites scattered throughout the property. We now understand that very little exploration, as you said, has been done on a property, and we have a prime location next door to cyanide mining operations. So with the identical geological context that we have with our neighbors, the next step for us will be by working on a stripping program and trenching program over the pegmatites that we found earlier this summer. And that will help us to better define which are the spodumene rich, so the lithium pegmatites, and on which should we control, and should we put more emphasis and start to sample those pegmatites.
You mentioned forest fires affecting operations transitionally, which reminds me of the importance of ESG. Can you share with our viewers and listeners a little more on the ESG profile of your project and how important it is to you to protect the environment, support the local communities, and also keep in line with the high standards of corporate governance in this jurisdiction?
Important question. Absolutely. We're located, as we said, again, in the heart of the Abitibi region, and more specifically at a 4 kilometer in the backyard, really, of an existing operating mine that sets the basics of the project itself. In terms of social acceptability, we will go through all the communication procedures and information step with local communities. That's no doubt about it. And in terms of environmental impact, it could be here related also to its government impact also. It will make much more sense to limit as much as possible any future impact if we find a way to partner with our neighbors who already have an operation underway and who we know that are looking for more material to process.
Interesting. Well, we hope for updates on that front for sure. Speaking of financials, can you elaborate on the sunk costs invested so far, and if you have the necessary liquidity to continue on your exploration?
Yeah, one of the most important aspect of the acquisition of this project is that we didn't spend any hard dollars or any cash. It's properly. We only share were issued to acquire this project. So in terms of sunk costs related to this project, the only one that we spend is the weak exploration that we did earlier this summer. So very low sunk costs until now. If all permitting goes correctly and as expected, we should be able to complete our stripping program before the winter. So a little bit more exploration before the end of the year. So in terms of economic, let's say, potential of the project, it will depend on the number and the size of lithium-bearing pegmatites that we will discover. And with a good stripping program, the one that we are preparing, we'll be able to analyze those pegmatites and discuss again with our operating neighbors.
So a lot resting on those stripping projects. It sounds like. Any other catalysts you'd like investors to know about that you're paying attention to?
Absolutely. It's true that we could say that there is a lot of lithium project, and why should this one be better than another one? I would say that it's a combination of different factors. The reason why we acquire this project is to complement our portfolio of project. But the prime location, we say this already numerous times during this interview, but the property is accessible by road in the heart of the Abitibi. We are at 4 kilometers away from the only spodumene operating mine in Quebec. We know that they are looking for more material of the same quality. And the other aspect is more related to Tarku and itself and to its capital structure. As an investor, I would rather come at a very low price than when the discovery is not done yet, rather than come at a higher price So as an investor, I'm looking for high yields, and I would go for undervalued exploration company, which I believe it's the case for Tarku.
I've been discovering the opportunities in the world of mineral exploration and resource development, really exciting opportunities, featuring today Tarku Resources and learning about their commitment to unlocking the potential of a mineral-rich region, their strategic approach, and their dedication to sustainable practices. My guest today is President and CEO of Tarku Resources, Julien Davy. Thank you for your insights.
It was a pleasure, Michelle. Have a nice day.
You too.